Marissa, mkissacreations and surfandsew.me on Instagram. mkissacreations is also what I design under. Thank you for joining me again. It has been about 3 weeks since my last video. I was planning on coming back a little bit sooner, but life just, it's been lifing, and that's okay. And so here I am to check in with you and finish up on a little giveaway, close the door on that, and I've got a FFO and a finish to show you. I've got a little bit of haul and some plans and some whips. So let's get down into it. And like I said, life has been lifing, but it hasn't really been doing anything like zany. My job's a little bit busy this time of year. Next week is match week for people in med school to come into our residency programs, and so leading up to that it gets kind of wild. So we find out tomorrow if we filled all our spots, and so that will be a relief once we get that news, and then things will kind of just move along in the academic year direction, and life will be good again. Otherwise, so if you have visited me on my surfandsew.me Instagram, you see that I do a lot of like from scratch stuff at home. So when I say like life is lifing, it's just like today was make granola bars for the week and get veggie stock going and get grocery shopping done. Like we're from scratch, like we're an ingredients house, I guess is the best way to say that. So if I don't do all those things, we don't really have a lot to eat because someone's got to put it all together and to make something. So living in an ingredients house is good, but it also takes some time, and at night when I can't film at night, it's too dark and gloomy. We don't have overhead lighting in this room, and right now I just have like my big stitching lamp on, but I have a big front window, and so during the day I get much better light. My girls are upstairs. They are playing together nicely, so you probably can hear them because their bedroom's like right above me. But hopefully any sounds that they provide for the background noise of the video remain to be pleasant ones. So let's see. Let's like go down, like should we do the most exciting stuff first? So I have my FFO. This is a pattern I designed. It's not going in my store, but I designed it for Link is my homeboy's snarky swap, which I'm super late for. Sorry. But my partner said that they liked Schitt's Creek, and so I made this pillow. I designed it. It's a David quote, is very uninterested in this opinion. I think he also says very uninterested in this option in another episode, but did like the little lightning bolts from his that really cool sweater that he wears that has like the lightning bolts all around the top, and I did it in white etoile or blanc etoile, so it is sparkly, and then on the back it's this gold, which is also kind of sparkly, and the heart is like upside down, but if you flip it this way, it's right side up. But I put it on there and it wasn't coming back off after I did it. So I'm not gonna look at the front and the back at the same time. So this is my little pillow for that swap, and then I've got a couple other goodies to throw into her their swap box too. So that will go out this week. And another reason why it took me so long is that this is 28 count black Lugana, but it's really tight. So I could only stitch on it at like a very particular time of day. And so it took me a lot longer than I was expecting it to, but I really love how it turned out. It was totally worth it stitching. I'm sorry, it's probably like, it's like I can see your one eye. So stitching on the black was a decision that I made. And then this trim, so it's like a pillow trim. I was at Michael's today and they have this stuff again. I don't know if they ever got rid of it, but they sell like a big bunch of like ribbon and trim, and they're usually themed out. So like they had a black and white set once. I talked about it in one of my other videos. I bought it because my girls wanted to make like ribbon dancers out of mason jar lids, and that was initially what I bought it for, but then I found that a lot of them were actually like pillow trims and not just like ribbons, and so that is a totally like worth it thing to look at if you're in Michael's. But I just love, like, it came with so many cool trims. So I got one of the black and white ones, and then I bought one of the fun colored ones. So there's my FFO. And then I also had a finish, which I was going to do a giveaway for this pattern, and I was looking for it today. And I can't for the life of me find it. So I'm not going to offer to do the giveaway until I can find it, because I don't want to not be able to send it to you. It exists in my house somewhere, but I finished V is for Valentine by Heartstring Samplery. And like I had all the flosses with it too. Oh, be light so that people can see you. Anyways, so I love how this turned out. This is beautiful. It was a very quick stitch. This is one of my 24 new starts in 2024. So it was a start and finish, which I'm super excited about. I didn't finish it before Valentine's Day, but it is done. And so now I can FFO that and put it with my other little Valentine's pattern. So that's exciting. I'll have like a little Valentine's Day display next year, and then hopefully I will add a couple more because I actually really like Valentine's Day. I'm a big, like, tell everyone I love them on Valentine's Day, my best friends, and just people that are important in my life. And so it's not just about romantic love, it's about all the love. So V is for Valentine by Heartstring Samplery, done and dusted. Didn't add to my whip list for that. And then let's go ahead and do the giveaway. I know a lot of you aren't here for that because only 3 of you wanted to stitch this with me, but that is okay. So this giveaway is for this magazine, which is this copy of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, March, April 1988. And I am excited about it because of these blue boat geese right here, which I think I'm going to stitch on a sweatshirt for myself. 3 of you wanted that, and I did a Tiny Decisions wheel on that. And let's see, I'm not prepared. I mean, I am prepared, but I'm also not prepared. So, Allison at the moment from Cross Stitch the Globe. So send me your mailing address on Insta and I will get that out to you. I'm going to be at the post office this week because I have a swap package to mail. So this magazine will be headed your way, and then we can blue-bowed geese it together. I'm excited. Are you going to make a little bag with a little blue-bowed goose on it? So exciting. All right, and then Whip Go. So let's talk about what I was stitching for Whip Go, not what I am stitching right now for Whip Go. All right, exciting thing happened. Not haul, but not haul. I pulled the trigger. I've been talking about it for the last 2 videos, and I got my another set of 8-inch and 11-inch Q-snaps. So if you don't know what a Q-snap is, it's this this thicker, like almost PVC type of frame, and then there are these clamps that go on the outside and they clamp your fabric to it. And then this is a grime guard that I made that covers it. This is my skinny grime guard. I have made different thicknesses of them because sometimes like you need to hold, like this one's all bulgy, it needs holds a lot more fabric in it. But sometimes you need, like, I like the skinny one because then it doesn't get in the way of stitching as close to the edge as you can't. I also, actually, while we're talking about Q-snaps, and you can do this with any hoop for the most part, but it's called stitching in the well. And stitching in the well means that you don't put your fabric over like the front of the Q-snap where you're holding it. It kind of goes over the back. And the reason that you may or may not want to do that is that if you are ending a strand of thread closer to the edge of your Q-snap and you're trying to like run your needle underneath underneath other stitches to get your thread to kind of stick in there, if you are stitching in the, like, if you're stitching it normally, or I don't know if that's normal or not, but if you put the fabric over the top and then you're trying to run your, so this would be your back, you're trying to run it under there, you might end up like hitting the edge of your Q-snap and not being able to get your needle through the way you want. This way, where I'm stitching in the well, so you're stitching like the fabric's down in there in the well. This way I have like a smooth straight surface across the back of my project where I can run my needle by to secure it underneath thread in the back. Got a little preview of Blackbird right there. But on Amazon, there is actually a like package deal for an 8-inch and 11-inch, and so that's what I buy. I buy an 8-inch and 11-inch, and then I make them, I Frankenstein them together and make an 8-inch by 11-inch hoop for myself. And I just find the size much more manageable than the 11 by 11-inch, but I can also get that full 11-inch width if I want. I just don't have to pair it with an 11-inch height. So I will link the Amazon package deal in the down box below. That will be a affiliate link. I just have to disclose that. You can also just go search on Amazon for Q-snap and you will find it. But I always appreciate when people click on my affiliate links. Helps a girl out. All right. Okay, so WIPGO last month was 24 and 3. So mine was Carriage House, Shores of Haw Hollow, and what did I say? 24. The Cryptid Sal. The Cryptid Sal I think I put away after I showed it to you last, so I didn't really get any more done on that. But I did pull out my Shores of Haw Hollow, and I think most stitchers know what the Shores of Haw Hollow look like. I think Halloween at Haw Hollow is probably much more popular, but this one has a pretty good following as well. This is the pattern. My WIPGO goal was to finish block 1, and I didn't quite make it, but I was ready to put it away. I'm stitching it on Picture This Plus doubloon on 40 count, 1/2, and it's so tight. This fabric is so tight. So it was like when I was done, I was done. I just have the fill-in on the sun, the fill-in on the letter L, and some seagulls to stitch. But I got quite a bit done. Got all the wording and the letters. Got this little seagull done down there, although, oh, he doesn't have a beak or legs yet. He needs those too. I'll have to remember to do those. I couldn't find the color that I needed for that part. And yeah, I really like this pattern. I really like all the Haw Hollows. I could, if I was gonna live forever, I would stitch them all, but that's not gonna happen, and I have plenty of other things to stitch. So at some other point, or if I just go to town on this and get that done, then I will pick up the next Haw Hollow that I want, but I am not going to be a collector of Haw Hollow patterns just yet. There's also a sal going on with Shores of Haw Hollow right now, and I joined the Facebook group. I can't remember. I have, like I said, I've been busy lately. I haven't been delving into like my internet groups as much as I usually do. That's usually my first thing to go, just because I know how much of a time suck it can be if I'm trying to focus on like life things, and so I try to put the phone down and not go that direction. So I will stitch on that again. I am definitely going to finish the first block this year, and I would like to start getting another block done now that there's a sale and other people are doing it and we're going to be seeing it a lot more. I think it will be very motivating to add more stitches into my project. So those were WIPCO for last month, and then WIPCO for this month is, let's see, WIPCO for March is 10 and 1, and 1 is Ink Circles 99, which is my oldest WIP, which is also my snow day project, which also has not been snowing. So I am just gonna be really working on that a lot this month. I've also decided that after this month, if I am not done with it, it's going to be my precipitation project, because I mean, if this year is anything like last year, I'll be stitching on it all summer long, every single gosh darn day. But hopefully I have it done by the end of March or getting close to it. But I loaded that into, so now you're going to see all my stuff in Q-snaps, because I have 4 8x11 Q-snaps now instead of my 2, so which were just like, I was going back and forth and like changing stuff out all the time. I really like having 4. I like, as you saw, I still have 1 that's empty right now. It's just really nice to be able to change projects without, like, loading a Q-snap's not hard, but once you get a project loaded in and you get the tension that you want and you get the tightness that you want and you get it in the section that you want, like, until you have to move it, like, I don't want to move it. If I was going to put the project away and not planning on stitching it for a while, I would take it off, because it's not really good to leave a project in a hoop or frame or anything that's not the way that you're going to finish it for a long time, because you might distort the fabric, you might distort some stitches that are underneath wherever it's clamping down. So like any kind of hoop really is going to give you that. Excuse me, those metally tension hoops, like I noticed those leave the most marks, and so I try not to leave those even on overnight unless I know I'm going to be moving it like the next day and I'm moving it on that same project. They give an amazing amount of tension. Not the ones from Michaels. There's a different brand that I like inherited from somewhere. Oh no, I got them at Martin's because there was like a closeout on one of those stores. The ones from Michaels stink. Don't buy those. It's a waste. They're a waste of money. They don't give good tension. I mean, unless you don't really care about, some people I don't think care about the tension. I like want to be able to bounce a coin off of my fabric when it is in my Q-snap. It's a big reason why I haven't switched to like scroll rods or anything like that. I have found a happy tension place with my Q-snaps and I love them. I know a couple people for a while ago did like some tutorials on how to like load Q-snaps, but I think I might do that again. But also there's so many other options now and I don't really use them. I'm pretty like, I'm a Q-snap follower in my Q-snap club. Okay, sorry, long story long. I'm like very segue today and it's very busy out in my neighborhood right now. All right. So Ink Circles 99. This is my WIPCO of the month from, oh, the other WIPCO project that I'm doing this month, or that I called this month, is the Primitive Hair's Patriotic Needle Queen, and I cannot find my digital copy. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. It might just be my number that sits unfinished this year if I can't find it. I haven't decided if I really can't find it, if I want to buy it again or not. I don't know. I like it a lot, but yeah. So anyways, Ink Circles 99. There's 99 bottles. I think I have 33 plus 15. I have 48 done. And then I made a lot of good progress. So the last couple nights I've been stitching on it. And I've done everything over here. Like, so these bottles were completed, this like row right there. And then I've done all of this. The shelves were done. But I've done all of those bottles in the last 2-3 nights. I've been watching on Hulu. I think they just added it, but it's a show hosted by Pierce Brosnan. It's from the History Channel, but it's like the world's greatest heists. And there's 8 episodes, I think. And I've just been, I love heists. I love the Thomas Crown Affair. I think that's why Pierce Brosnan's hosting it. And so, because that's a heist movie if you didn't know. But anyways, so yeah, I've been like just kind of nerding out on that and stitching bottles. So that's been keeping me entertained. And if you're into heists, like if you like the Ocean's movies, like definitely check it out. Other whips that I've worked on since I've seen you last, I've worked more on Blackbird Designs Blackbird, part of the Magical Mystery Tour series and part of a Sal with Julian Stitches and Cross Stitch the Globe, and then a bunch of other people joined. But they were, I think, were like the headliners for that, for the Fab Four Friend Sal. So this is my Fab Four Friend Sal. I am stitching it on weathered shingle from R&R Reproductions. I believe it's a 36 count. I'm stitching it with 1 strand over 2 with the Gentle Arts Black Crow, which is like a navy gray, I guess. And leave this in here so I don't lose things, because I'm obviously losing things. Alright, so this is where I am. I'm getting there. I've been kind of trying to put like 1 strand of it in. I'll bring it into the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner and I have like time in between steps. And I try to put like, I'll sit down at the table and try to put a strand in. And with a small pattern like this, I mean, it really makes progress, because I usually get like, I'll get like 2 leaves out of a strand. So it's been good. I am planning to leave this in a Q-snap until I finish it. I'm not super worried. I kind of loosen it up a little bit when I'm not stitching on it, so that it's not like pulled taut all the time. But also, like, this is a small, and I'm not gonna need this fabric that's tucked into my Q-snap that may or may not be getting distorted. Like, that being straight and not having like those really hard to get out creases isn't really gonna matter on this piece, so it doesn't worry me as much. And then I worked on Tiki Beach Sunset also. I still am like feeling very Haiti and enjoying this one. So I put in, like, apparently put it away. Like, my needle is not even, like, is it finishing a stitch? It is finishing a stitch. I'm just gonna finish that stitch, because apparently, and pull my needle minder over here so I can stick the needle in it. I was just like done when I was done, I guess. Sometimes that happens. I switched to another project. But I put in a good chunk of stitches on that. I wanted to change where I was going, so I started kind of coming down this border in the same way that I was doing the other ones, and then I got carried away with one of the colors, and I was like, oh, I can like finish a big chunk and like make it all be filled in right here. And so I like rolled with that, and I was like, all right, here we go. But yeah, I was just commenting on, I was just going back and doing comments. Like I said, I really was like, took the internet out of my life for a couple weeks, just to make sure I was getting all of my things done that I needed to here. And I was just catching up on some comments, and Yoshi was saying that I was making good progress on it. And I was like, I just love, and I know he loves it too, because he doesn't even look at the pictures of what he's stitching. Like, once he starts it, it's just like a total mystery to him. I can't even tell you how many times I've looked at Tiki Beach Sunset just because I love looking at all the little things in that room. And then I'm following somebody who also is stitching it, and she's like burning through it and almost done, and doing max colors, and it is wildly beautiful. I will link her her Instagram. I don't think she's a floss tuber. I'll link her Instagram down, or I'll put her Instagram handle down below, just so you can see somebody that is stitching Tiki Beach Sunset that is like burning through it. But Yoshi doesn't look at the like finished pictures of his stitches at all once he starts them, and I just think that's wild. So he was saying that I'd gotten good progress in, and I do love seeing how like the new things like kind of start coming to life and sticking out. Like there's like a gecko on this rafter, and that was so cool, like when that first like appeared. Just watching like those little things like that, just watching those pop out at you, and kind of not knowing what you're stitching on sometimes until they really do. Like when I was stitching the paper lantern, just really watching the paper lantern kind of show up a little bit more and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it's just really neat. Another thing, oh my gosh, my, as I'm like, oh yay, Q-snaps are awesome. I don't know what's happening right here. What did I do? I might have just popped it off. I also put like pieces of felt over to help make it like even tighter, because like I said, I wanna bounce a quarter off that once I have it in there. All right, so I showed you my Q-snap haul, but I have other haul because the Crafty Grimalkin, Teresa or Reese, she opened a brick and mortar store. She's been online for a while, and I've purchased stuff from her at like Maine Stitchy retreats. I got some thread drops from her at the last Stitch Maine that I got to go to. But she opened a shop in Bangor, which is not really that close to us. It's a 2-hour drive, so dropped the girls at my mom's yesterday, and my husband and I drove up to go check out the new shop, and it was so exciting. Her shop is beautiful. I took a video of me walking in the door with all intentions of being like, I'm gonna post a little tour video and put that in here. No, I was so excited once I got into her shop, and so like, oh, her husband built this beautiful floss wall. Beautiful floss wall. And it is all you can do not to just stand there and just pick flosses. And just flosses and flosses and flosses and take all the flosses, bring all the flosses home. Gorgeous. Her shop is beautiful. All her helpers were there packing up all her market orders. It was just really fun and really exciting to see a brick and mortar in Maine. There's another place called Camp Wool, but they're not cross stitch focused, and they're like wool and quilting and very primitive. And so lots of by the bay needle arts, like Plum Street, that kind of stuff, but not, and you can get your flosses there, but I think they always stored them in like drawers too. So it was like never out and beautiful. But anyways, so like a dedicated cross stitch shop, brick and mortar. It's far. I will still be going there. I loved it, but that was a lot of driving yesterday. But anyways, so I went and saw her. So the Crafty Grimalkin, here's her little shopping bag from her shop. So stinking cute. And I don't know if it's like picking it up, but like the kitty is definitely like, he's blocky, he's pixelated, he's cross stitch kitty. So I'll show you some of my goodies. I was good-ish. Oh, I bought, hold on, I'm just gonna, so I've said before about how I like to stitch with really long strands of floss, but I am also teaching my children to cross stitch, and I'm trying not to teach them how to stitch with really long strands of floss. So I bought them each one of these, which were made by the New England stitcher, Stephanie. And she carries them in her, and Reese carries them in her store. So you can measure your length of floss on these. That would be much more appropriate, especially for a little kid, so that they're not getting big knots and getting mad about that. So I bought one of these for each of them because I have 2 children, and they are girls, and they are 21 months apart, and you can't just buy one thing of anything. They do share stuff, but there's certain things that I know that are just, it's not a good idea to try to get that going. All right, so here are, I got a new set of floss drops. These are really cute. I'm just gonna show you one of them. They have little anchors on them. And I love the 2 holes, because I actually punch additional holes in a lot of my flosses, depending on what size of project I'm working on with them. But I'll like punch a little hole on the side of a like Gentle Arts like floss card so that I have somewhere to put the strand that I'm working with. And I also got her shop needle minder, the Crafty Grimalkin. And these are her cards too, I think. But it's the same little guy. And I will link her shop down below because she does have an online shop as well as the brick and mortar. And she has a lot of really great stuff, and she is a lovely human. So she should be visited. And then I got 2 other needle minders, one of which I'm going to send to one of my swap partners. A little piece of Maine. Let me see, what can I hold these on? I'll hold it on here. And these I think were also made by Stephanie, the New England Stitcher. But they're little like cutouts of Maine. And one of them says the Crafty Grimalkin, and one of them says the way life should be, and has a lobster. The way life should be is like on the sign when you come into Maine, like when you drive in from New Hampshire. And yeah. And then I got some 40 count Old Massachusetts linen from the Primitive Hair, which is just like this really dingy, like coffee tea dye almost. I don't know, it's beautiful. I love it. And then I also bought, and these are definitely for, these are for something specific, but they're beautiful, and I couldn't leave her floss wall untouched. So these are some Gentle Arts that I got, and a piece of Vintage Country Mocha that I picked up also, because I think that's like one of those fabrics that you can just never have enough of. So some beautiful Gentle Arts sampler threads. They are, let's see, I wonder if it'll be better on white. So Blackboard, Witching Hour, Endive, Wrought Iron, Apple Cider, and Dark Chocolate. So let's see, a couple of shakers and then a couple of just so like you can tell the tags are different. So these are the shaker flosses. All right, and then I got 2 patterns, and I hadn't fallen in love with any of these Cottage Gardens. Everyone that I've seen stitched is beautiful, but I hadn't even seen the patterns in person because we haven't had a needle workshop near us in a long time. And so I got to look at them all together and all in person. She had, I think, almost all of them or all of them. So I bought From the Year in the Woods, number 9, the Woodpecker. So we have a woodpecker. I don't know if it's the same kind. I would have to like really, this doesn't say on the back what kind of woodpecker it is. But we have a woodpecker with a red head that lives in our neighborhood. And I just absolutely love him. I love him. My husband loves bird cross stitches. He doesn't cross stitch. He just really likes the bird patterns. So there was no like, are you sure you want that one? It was like, oh yeah, that's a good one. when I picked this one up. And then I got new from Heartstring Sampleries, My Scissors, My Rules. So I think, and I've mentioned this in like every video, but like I collect tomato pin cushions, but I just love the cross stitches that have like all the stitching supplies on them. And so I need to get some of those stitched up. But those were my splurges. And I think that's it. That's it for today. Not a long one. I will look for my Vias for Valentine pattern. I really wanted to do a giveaway for that. Allison, please send me your address so I can send you that magazine. And then let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if it's helpful for me to like explain that like stitching in the well and stuff like that. Is that something that you want to hear more about, or do you just want to see the stuff and then get on with it? I want to be helpful for people that are like kind of coming into the craft and making sure that I'm not just skipping over stuff. I know we all try to explain our acronyms, like when we say it, which I didn't today, I don't even think so, like WIPs, works in progress. I know we all are getting, I say the collective Flosstube, we are getting better at like, or have always been good at making sure that people know what like odd things we're saying that like don't make sense in other worlds. WIPs exist in like the quilting world too, and UFOs exist in the quilting world too. So if you're an avid crafter, you're probably going to have some of those terms already nailed down. But sometimes like, what does over 2 mean? What does over 1 mean? What does these floss counts mean? And I actually think Cross Stitch the Globe just did a fabric counts video, which I haven't checked out yet, but it's on my list because you guys, there's a lot of floss tubes to watch, and there's not a lot of time to do it. I've been like watching them. Hold on, I have to wave to my neighbors. There's just not a lot of time to do it. I've been watching floss tubes. I watched Kansas City Girl to Colorado World's floss tube today while I was finishing that pillow and straightening my hair for my floss tube video. So I've just been sneaking it in when I can. Sometimes I have my headphones in while I'm making dinner. There's just so much Flosstube to watch and not enough time to watch it all. And I don't want to take over the TV at my house and be like, nope, Mommy's watching Flosstube. Sorry, nobody gets to do anything else. We try to make our TV time as a family like very, like something all of us would like to watch. So I've been watching everybody on little screens. But I'm still enjoying all of the Flosstube. I feel like we're calmed down out of like WIP parade season, and just getting to see everybody's progress throughout the year now. I thank you. Again and again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for choosing to spend time with me and killing it, everybody in the Flosstube world. Taking over our little corner of YouTube, and it's making me really happy. So I will see you all hopefully soon, and keep stitching, and yeah, check you later.